We understand an upside-down world, but they're writing us off before we get to the starting line. A stalled generation? Who do you think is gonna fix all this? We will, because our future is the future. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day, and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more, because we have an appointment with destiny.
What's happening, sports fans? We welcome you back to another San Diego Prep Insider. I swear that this is filmed on a different day than our previous episode, and I'm just still wearing my Torrey Pines gear because this is cool, and it's cold, and it's rainy, and I now have cool adrenaline gear. And this is not just us producing a lot of episodes on the same day. This is special. We very rarely, normally when one season ends, we steam on to the next season, and we very rarely get a chance to, catch up with the champs from the previous seasons and react and do a post-mortem and get to talk about some cool stuff that happened. And one of the cool things that happened in the boys basketball championships was that Victory Christian Academy won. This is first one, yes, in school history for third one in school history for boys basketball. First one that I can remember, so they could have gotten away with lying to me on it. And we will talk to Coach about how to hype it up more and, take advantage of media members that don't do their homework pre-interview. Say it was the first one. It's the only one in school history. It's the Victory Christian Academy Knights. Guys, thank you very much for being here. Let's go left to right and introduce ourselves, name, grade, and position, please. And when we get to the coaches, if you guys could just let us know how long you have been at the school. We'll start all over here on the left. And remember, all of these guys are now CIF champs. Into the microphone.
Class 2026.
Jaden Gray, class of 2026.
Isaiah Owens, class of 2026.
Isaiah Taveras, class of 2023.
Anthony Contreras, class of 2023.
Quentin Richardson, class of 2023.
We're snaking around to the back row now.
Derek Edmond, class 2024.
Greco Ruiz, class of 2025.
Coach Jake, it's my third year coaching at Victory.
Coach Ramirez, third year at Victory.
So you guys come over together, and in 3 years, you have gotten what? This is first full actual season? Second full season. So, this will be, I still maybe even consider this one first season because this is first one with a full off season. First, we're back to normal now. Sure. So are we talking about this is normal for Victory Christian? Is basketball, can we expect this? Because I hear a couple of seniors in this room, but there's also a lot of 26s and 25s sprinkled in a way that some of the other champions did not have this year.
Yeah, I think so. I know these kids work hard. Again, I think our seniors did a great job in building, our pillars for our program and understanding what they did for us. We wouldn't be here, right? But we do have a very talented underclass, being led by Derek Edmond next year, and Jaden Mason and Isaiah will be back as well. So I think so. Hopefully we just keep building.
Jaden, I do want to get to you about Hoover football. That is mostly why we invited you here, for the inside scoop on what's going on there next. But let's talk to you a little bit about the basketball. You guys, let's do this. Can I get one freshman and one senior's perspective, kind of to sandwich some of the young and the old on what went well? Why did this group this year have what it took?
Yeah, you first. For one, I really feel like the whole year, we held each other accountable. Senior to freshman, it didn't really matter who it was. We all held each other to the same standards, and that's about it.
From this year compared to the past years, a big difference was our coaching staff and our players just wanting to be there, from freshmen all the way up to the top of the chain.
For you guys as seniors, what was the learning curve for the younger guys? Did all these guys just come in high school ready, or was there something that had to happen early in the season? Because sometimes the difference between 15 and 8, you guys all smirk and you laugh, but the difference between 14 and 18, that can be huge, and you can potentially also though wind up with a kid that scores double digits, 20 points in a championship game. So you can get a little bit of everything with freshmen. For you guys as seniors, what were you smirking about there in terms of bringing the team together this year?
All of these players are super talented, and they had the talent to come in and already play. For some of them, it's just the jump from AAU ball to high school. It's more organized, and even for Derek, he came from Granite, and him and Trey were just the best players, just getting the ball and score. And for him, it was just struggling to like get into our flow and get a set of things, run plays, and that's just how that was the learning curve we had.
So what had to happen? What brought it all together? Because for, putting all these pieces together, and I see someone lean in here, and I know you're not checking your phone because you're obviously leaning in for an answer here. What had to happen for you guys to come together as a team? Was it something that happened in the offseason? Was it a first win? Was it an early loss in the year? What do you think was the moment early on that at least you guys internally all sort of looked around and said, hey, like, we can do this year. We've got what it takes?
I feel like after Derek had to sit out, and when he came back, was it the Torrey Pines tournament? Yeah. When he came back in the Torrey Pines tournament, and we had started winning with him, and we all got into a flow, I feel like that's when things started going in the right direction.
Now, is this, I'm assuming this is not all, you guys just clicked on court and went your separate ways as soon as the game was over. I'm assuming you guys are all pretty decently close friends and hanging out together. So what is the off-the-court success secret this last season? Are you guys all going home and playing Call of Duty to the point where you need Kyler Murray type contract stuff, or is it Super Smash, or what is the team thing that you guys all share and do that keeps you guys loosey-goosey during the year?
I think it's like we every day, we always see each other at school. We always have that bond and stick together and have fun and just always we'll call, text, play the game together. Always have that moment with each other.
Well, because Victory Christian's not very big, right? A couple hundred kids. Mm-hmm. So did you guys get the adequate amount of respect you deserved on campus? Were you treated like proper rock stars, or were people sort of like, oh, yeah, basketball?
I mean, at our school, I don't think anyone really expects to be treated that way. So, I mean, if it does, it does. And if it doesn't, I mean, no one's complaining. I mean, we just go about it. We're just doing our business.
So now that we're 2 weeks past the state tournament, 3 weeks past the CIF San Diego Section Championship, what do you guys think are, the memories, the takeaways? What sticks with you guys as a group from this season?
For me, it's a Torrey Pines tournament. I don't know about y'all.
I'm gonna say the semifinal game to go to Rancho Buena Vista against Rancho Buena Vista.
Well, you moved it right past you. I was moving that to move it in front of you because you said something really interesting there.
I'm going to say it was the Rancho Buena Vista game, because in the first half, it was like a real close game. And then in the locker room, like, it was before Coach John even got in there. Like, we started talking about the game and like what we can do. And that was the first time we really like talked like about the game at a high level. So we talked about it, figured it out, and then we know what happened next.
But who doesn't know what happens next is most of the people watching this. So if you could fill them in on what happened next.
We ended up winning by it was a 1-point game, 2-point game at half. We ended up winning by, I want to say 36, just because we started playing together and playing our game and sticking with the game plan the coaches drew up.
Oh, that has to feel kind of nice then, Coach, to see that they actually stuck to the game plan. For you guys as a coaching staff, kind of the same question to them. Was there a moment? Was there a thing? Was there something that you guys did differently with this team's prep this year? Because like we said, a lot of pieces to merge, but yet you successfully got them all together very early on. And I want to say it was by about halfway through the season that I started seeing you guys pop up in the top 10 voting email thread list. And some people were called crazy for voting for you. And I'm not going to get there on this podcast, but it wasn't late in the season. All of a sudden you came out of nowhere. You guys were playing really elite ball pretty early on.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it just came with these kids' mindset, right? They wanted to win, right? They finally figured out that they don't have to be mediocre because we're a school of 150. We practice every day at 6 o'clock in the morning. Every day, nobody missed. We conditioned hard. We really pushed them in the classroom in the sense of learning the X's and O's and learning the system. We made people play positions that they weren't necessarily comfortable with, nor did they want to play with, but they really bought in.
Was 6 a.m. Court availability or your choice mentality-wise?
It was a little bit of both. I think we didn't want to stay there until 7 o'clock at night because I'm really big on homework getting done and academics being our priority. But I just also think that being in the mornings it just shows you what real life is, right? As an adult, as a freshman through senior in college, you're going to have to wake up in the morning and get stuff done, so we try to create young men here. We do more life lessons here than we do basketball lessons. We're really big on growing the individual. None of these kids are a number to us, and that's just kind of the difference between us and I think a lot of different programs is we really care about these kids and we really put maybe sometimes too much time into them. But we also had great parents.
I think that's more of a cliche than an actual thing.
Yeah, maybe. But, it's one of those things. Their parents, they backed us up. There was never an issue. I don't think there was ever one time that anybody in this room complained about anything this year. And we put them through some hell. There's some days I can get as a coach that I demand even more and try to get them to a point where they don't think they can go, and then all of a sudden they surpass it. So it wasn't necessarily a shock to us in this room on the success we were having, but we were also very humbled with the success.
You do bring up a good point. It is very often my side of the room that's like, oh my God, you guys are such a great story. When you guys are looking here like, no, your dumbass just waited till the middle of the season to catch on, and we knew what was coming for a couple of months now. For the younger kids in this room, so anybody junior, freshman, sophomore, and all that, I hear already in the gym at 6 a.m. grinding, already got a championship, already got a lot done. So what's the roadmap for the next couple of years? Like, you guys have to have your sights set pretty high on terms of what you want to achieve. Anybody care to put some words to that?
I think we just have to build off of last year, and we have to kind of step into how our seniors were for us, for like the next freshman, or for us, Derek, he's going to be a senior. He's got to step up. We all got to step up, and we're going to try to go get that championship again.
I think like Mason said, we just have to build on what we had last year, and to fill in some of the senior spots, some of us have to step up and be a leader too.
I appreciate you guys getting the show and continuing to filibuster and fill in that interview while I had to go look for the intern, make sure that the gate was closed out there. So I will then put maybe some of our San Diego words to it of, we want to see you guys house state championships. We want to see you guys bring, dynasty and domination and all that, because that's what we love as a city. But I also just want to thank you guys for, playing an exciting version of basketball. It seemed like it was up and down the court with a lot of speed and a lot of hustle. And when it came to that championship game, I really noticed that, Ramona seemed to get a little bit close there, and then you kind of just tempoed them to death. And it seemed like your athleticism and your explosiveness from that championship game experience against Ramona. Was there a point where you guys felt like, hey, we won this game? Or was it just coming into the game that morning, you're like, hey, we've got this, it's all, all gas? Or was it until, you're holding up your daughter at the end that you're like, hey, okay, we can actually breathe? Because
I think for us, we never went into a game thinking we were going to win or lose, right? We went into a game understanding that we're playing against ourselves, right? I preach to them every single day, the only team that can beat victory is victory. And if we get off script, that's when we get into some trouble. We got off script for about 6 minutes in that game, and Ramona did a great job capitalizing on everything that they did. But we called the timeout, and our seniors kind of said, hey, we got this, we're good. Isaiah Tabares looked right in my face and he said, you trust this, coach? Because we trust you. And I said, I trust you guys all the way. They made the adjustments. People can say what they want about, it was coaching, it was adjustments, but I'd have to disagree. I think the kids really took it onto their own and put everything that they had gone through in the preseason, during the season, and they did it themselves. And I can humbly say that as the head coach, that these kids won that championship. These kids grinded out those last 4 minutes. These kids are the ones that really put everything into play to win that championship, because if we're being honest, anything that I yelled or anything that I was trying to communicate, it was very loud in there. It was electrifying.
Well, so can I
sure.
I want to ask this then to the group, because this is something that you see a lot of on social media, but I never know if social media is really occupied by people, like an actual sample size of the people that talk about this stuff, or it's just the people that are really loud and passionate about it. And a lot of people get kind of upset the last few years that CIF is not hosting championship games in big venues and doing, oh, you guys all get to go play at UCSD, or you guys go get to play at San Diego State or something like that. And I agree that game was pretty hype and pretty poppin', and Ramona traveled well.
Yeah.
But if you put that same amount of people in SDSU, it's not going to nearly be as loud or anything. You know, the sight lines are going to be a little bit different for the shooters and all that kind of stuff. So from the actual player's perspective, was that an enjoyable championship experience, or would you have rather, you know, same amount of people, but in a bigger venue, so it ultimately feels kind of small and doesn't get that that amount of hype that there definitely was that night?
I think it was actually a really enjoyable game, especially after we won, hearing our crowd cheer for us, and that was like a really good moment for me after we won the championship.
Did anybody hate the experience? Would any of you guys have taken, let me just maybe simplify, would any of you guys have taken what I said, same amount of people, but in a 30,000 seat or 16,000 seat arena? Just for the sake of getting to say, like, oh, we played at SDSU or something like that.
I think honestly it went to kind of our whole season, right? We're the only school under 500 kids that are playing these schools with 2,500 kids in attendance. I mean, we love small. We are small, you know. Even at our games, you know, we don't have the amount of people that other schools have for fans, but it sounds like we're in a giant arena because it's so intimate, right? So I think we were a little more used to being able to play in those circumstances because that's kind of who we are as a program. But, I mean, I was also with Foothills when we played Mission Bay and San Diego State, and that was a great experience too, you know. But I think, you know,
do you see shades of that in this?
I mean, yes, with the work ethic. I mean, you got to remember that Foothill Christian team was pretty loaded.
Yeah, I went to UCLA, so yes, trust me, I played plenty of attention to.
So yeah, that team was pretty loaded, and I think we're a few pieces
but
away.
Small school, overachieving per the outside perspective is the general vibe of what we have in this room.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's what we work to every single day. Right?
Black and gold looks a little better than black and purple too. So,
perspective,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think everyone agrees. I'm not saying that. Hey, that is not shade at Foothills. That is not shade at Foothills. That is personal preference. I don't think that the Rock also does purple and black. I don't think that looks nearly as good as the black and red of La Jolla. It's not I'm not shading at anything. That's just I just think that black and gold is clean. There's some clean colors. You guys are matching in here. You're all looking nice. You're all feeling good. We will bring up full screen the photo of what the rings are going to look like. I'll close this with a question that I asked to all seniors, because I have 2 seniors in here? 3 seniors in here. And for you guys, this is one of the rare ones where I'm asking this, after the season is over, but what do you think the legacy, or what do you want the legacy to be for you guys as a senior class that you leave on this program? There's no right or wrong question. There's no right or wrong answer. It's a very loaded, open-ended question, but it can be just, hey, we won a champion. It can be anything. What do you guys think, though? Do you at least hope for and think about when I say, legacy for this senior class?
I think just coming in from our freshman season where our coach wasn't, fully committed with us, and then coming in our sophomore year, Coach John is just, all in, and it's just whoa, it's kind of crazy, but I think it's just all the hard work that we put in, coming up short last year, and then finally getting it this year in a higher division is just.
I smile because I appreciate you putting up with our intern as she loses focus a little bit towards the end. You got what's up? I'm putting you on the spot. We're not letting you out of here without a little something.
So, coming in my sophomore year, and from having not really somebody to coach me. My freshman year and having Coach John, yell a lot of stuff and kind of confusing me, kind of brought it kind of, sparked something and say that he really cares, he really knows I can do it and push through. But as what Isaiah said, coming up short my junior year, and then coming back my senior year with everybody and winning a whole championship just brought a lot of joy to me.
I laughed because that's a great answer, and you kept your composure with her going crazy. Also, nobody on the end can hear that. It's just that is just audio for us because, like I told you guys, these microphones, they're good at right in front of us. So It is just distracting singularly for us, entertaining. One other senior in here, yes.
Yeah.
You, floor is all yours.
So the legacy I want to leave is like I want this to be the team that like I feel like no one has like believed in us, like ever since I was like a freshman, like in basketball. So I feel like we're showing people like that we can like win championships now and like put ourselves on the map in San Diego.
There you go. Oh, definitely on the map. 100% on the map. If nothing else, you guys were the small school that did it this year. And there's always one small school that gets etched into a legacy, is kind of, punched above their weight class a little bit. And that's what you guys 100% did this year. Congratulations. Thank you very much for joining us. Folks, this is a lot of youth in this room. So thank you to the seniors. Congratulations to the seniors. But to the rest of you here, we look forward to riding your coattails and being your biggest hype fans in your IG comments and whatever, and all that other cloudy, nonsensical words that mean some things to some generations and nothing to other generations. We appreciate you guys. Congratulations. Is it Go Knights? Is there a saying? Is there a hashtag for the team?
Turn them over.
Turn them over. All right.
13.
We'll say turn them over and talk to you guys next time.